to make these people think I look like a human being, but the reality is I don't. I'm
not
like
a
a
human
feral
being.
person.
You're like
I'm a feral person.
John Merrill.
We're going to come into the podcast. I'm not always going to be ready to go, but I am going to share to my page so everybody knows
kind of what we
it's
do
go
here.
time.
We kind of linger.
Hey, everybody.
Show up. Hello.
Episode 32. I'm Stacey.
The OJ episode. I'm Doug.
It's not the OJ episode.
It's number 32.
Marital hate. He's not anything right now. Is he in jail again?
He's out looking for the real killers.
The real killers.
Well, thanks for the support, by the
I think
way.
his son was the real killer.
Yeah.
I've heard theories.
His son's gonna kill his own mother and the boyfriend. Why?
That happens a lot. It's called matricide. Lots of people want to kill their mothers.
Like marital
and
hate.
Fuck their fathers.
Maybe we should change the name of this because this could spurn violence of some sort.
I don't think it's
Matricide?
gonna spurn mattress, but I do think Nolan texted me back.
Yeah.
I'm hoping he doesn't kill me, and I'm not his
doesn't.
mom, so I should be even
No.
clear. Hopefully he doesn't kill anybody.
No,
I don't think he's going to because he's not the type. But I said we should come. I talked to him about doing a spinoff, and
Spin-off.
I think Nolan.
Child hate.
No, like a spinoff where Nolan comments on the videos because, we forget sometimes because our kids are adults. Seriously, I'm just trying to look like a person for you guys.
It's great.
Our kids.
Thanks
are
for the show
adults.
prep.
Our kids. I barely got it together today. I had to take drugs in the middle of the day for pain relief. I think they've already worn off. I was supposed to take more, and I forgot to. Hello, Vincent Price. Is this when you get old? There's 5 times on one side and mirrored on the other one. I'm very depressed that I can't afford a facial because my pores are clogged.
5 times.
5
The
times.
goodness. The goodness.
Oh, I don't know about that, but I do like to look like a human being for these people. But let's face it, I just couldn't get it together. So anyway,
I think it's unprofessional.
Our podcast is called Marital Hate. It's not professional. We don't know what the hell we're doing, but we can guarantee you that you'll laugh, you'll cry, and you'll cringe. And so we don't hate each other, but sometimes we bicker. Sometimes we ring a little bell at each other.
It's gonna cringe like your butthole.
We're like, we're best friends, but we're very different people.
Yeah, I'm prepared for the show. You don't see me making up my face.
Do you have notes?
I have a note today.
Do you have a chronic illness that leaves you
I
debilitated
actually have
and
2 notes.
wishing for your own fucking death?
You know what? I want to hear about your
Do you have a
illness,
lunatic
right?
husband who has a complete mental breakdown about a hard-boiled egg?
Yeah, you try peeling those eggs.
I didn't get a chance.
Yeah, you
He
didn't.
had a nuclear meltdown about peeling a hard-boiled egg. People, I don't know what to do with this man.
The whole set. Like, usually you get one that's kind of tough to peel, whatever. Peel one after the other. And by the time you're done, you get a yolk. And then you can't have a deviled yolk.
And we are big fans of deviled eggs around here.
We are the founders of the Sanibel Deviled Egg Festival.
Which was destroyed this year
Yeah, it was destroyed. It
by
had to be
Hurricane
canceled.
Ian.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, wind and ocean, storm surge. Thank you. Can't even enjoy our deviled eggs anymore.
So we should probably. So this is Monday. We hope you guys had a good weekend.
Yes, happy Monday.
We want to thank you once again because I don't see who's here right now. Oh, it looks like Debbie's here. I don't know if Tracy's working tonight or not. Yeah, we've only got one right now. But we appreciate you, and we've got some stuff to talk about today. So we had
We left the house.
left the house this weekend, like normal.
And guess what? We got caught in a rainstorm.
Well, you're supposed to go. That
What?
doesn't make any sense to them.
Oh.
We need to start off. Okay, so there was something on Friday. We did the podcast.
Yes, we did a almost 2-hour podcast on Friday.
And then was I rambling because I have a ton of notes. So I'm keeping notes in my phone for the podcast as I come up with them. But then I try to jot them down in my notebook so we have a vague idea as to what we talked about this episode. So I can do keywords and stuff because we're trying to make it good for you guys. Hey Todd, we're trying to make it good for you guys. We usually talk to our friends at the end. And because we do a live show, you never know what's going to happen.
That's right, you don't.
One night we had to end early for puking. And
not me.
I'm always saying
Not
crazy
a
stuff. I mean, one of these days the police are just going to come and straight up arrest us for saying horrible things on the internet. Oh, and YouTube banned one of our videos.
They did.
High five, bro.
Well, it was probably something you said, not me, because I'm a relatively reasonable
I
person.
say ridiculous
You say crazy
stuff,
stuff.
and then he goes, "That's my wife."
And I say that's my wife, and that's my wife.
We're like a talk show.
Well, you writing notes on your phone is the equivalent of. It gives people an idea of what it's like to be married to you.
Maybe.
Like every 5 minutes I get probably more than that. Every 3 minutes I get a TikTok I don't have TikTok, so I have to click on it. It has to open in a browser. Then I have to hit unmute, and then I get sick. Some
too
of
much of
them
a
are
story.
good. Other of them, I although there was a good one
You're
today.
just rambling about nothing. TikToks?
Oh, because you're not talking. It doesn't.
No, we were just
marital
talking-
hate.
You're just talking about TikToks?
I'm telling him about what it's like to be married to you. Every 2 minutes, either I get a text or a TikTok or something, because that's how your brain works. And you're just writing notes all day in your phone.
I can send notes or texts or TikToks to someone else.
Well, you normally do.
I don't know what to say. What the fuck is wrong with your computer?
I don't
It
know.
keeps doing that. So
Doesn't
Doug's
do that
computer
when I
keeps
work
turning
on it.
black. It's our computer. It's our recording device. It's our camera. It's our microphone. So every once in a while, one of us is gonna dive for the computer until we figure that out. I think Doug needs to adjust
I need to find my hot corners.
his settings.
I'm gonna find my hot corner.
I don't know what hot corners are, but
It's a hot corner.
I don't know what that is. But I'm afraid you're gonna accidentally.
Nah, I'm not going.
There's birds. So you guys, one thing before we get into our weekend is we found out that we have someone from the Audubon Society who watches our videos and identifies the birds as he watches. That's pretty fucking cool. I would love it if you would comment those bird names. It's okay to be asleep by the end. Some people use this as a sleep aid. Some people use this as a nightmare aid. Some people use this as a marital aid. It really
A
depends.
marital aid.
Well, you know, because when I'm juggling my titties around
Well,
or talking about
that's-
butt sex or, you know,
I don't
things
know
that we
what.
do.
I don't know what the hell we're talking about.
I can't wait to tell you guys about this weekend. So the first thing that happened is we're here, minding our own business on a Saturday morning. Doug, was it Saturday?
Saturday morning, yeah.
Saturday. So Sunday was the egg meltdown day.
Yeah, because I was trying to
Okay.
be nice and make eggs for Sunday.
Okay, so Saturday morning we wake up, we're sitting here minding our own business, watching TV or whatever we're doing. I think I was working on a podcast. There's a knock at the door. Old white man goes and answers the door because that's what you do. He has to answer the door because I'm afraid of everybody, and I never wear a bra, and I'm not feral. I'm not really suitable for public viewing. So Doug answers the door.
Well, the thing is, I had gone out to, I don't know why I went outside. Maybe I took like the recycling out or something. And I saw this kid walking up and down the street, like wearing a backpack. And I'm kind of like, is he like, he looked lost. So I come in the house, I didn't think much of it. And then knocked on the door. Here's the kid with the backpack. He was an African-American kid with a backpack. So what? He looked like
might
he was
not have
about
been
15,
African.
16.
He could be Bahamian. You could
Well,
be
he
you
was-
could be from lots of places
okay,
if
he
you
was
like.
a-
That's the problem.
yeah.
It keeps changing what you're supposed to say when you're not supposed
Yeah,
to
I don't
say.
know. I'm just
But
trying
the
to
point is that the kid
describe
took
what
one
he
look
looked
at
like.
Doug and said,
How's that?
"Ah!"
Yes, he looked at me and goes,
Really?
oh, I have the wrong house. And I'm like, how?
We would have invited him in for a snack or whatever.
And of course, my first reaction is like,
course.
well, who are you looking for? And then I realized that I don't know anybody. Like, I don't.
Well, we know
you like,
Lenny and
Yeah, we know
Jen
two
and
people on the
Lynn
street.
and-
We don't know anybody else.
the
We don't know
guy
anybody
that
else.
does the lawn, I can't
We
remember
we
his
know
name.
Corvette guy over there. We've
We
talked
don't
people
know him.
out
We've never
back.
spoken to
No,
him.
no, no. But
Do you think they listen to the podcast?
no, I don't think they do. So, anyways, kid showed up at the door. Very nice kid. Laughed. We laughed because he's like, "Oh, I'm definitely in the wrong place." I'm right. Try to help
But,
him,
like,
but I don't know anybody. So
Like,
I'm like,
it's
"All
not
right."
like you opened
Good
the
luck.
door in a Klan hood. Like, you're just like, hey, like, we would have like given him a snack or like we gently like if you come to our house.
No,
we
I was
generally-
like, I would have genuinely. Somebody comes to your house.
we have not been prepared for guests for quite some
So
time.
anyway.
It's been a problem.
But she has still got the PTSD from the workmen trying to get in the house
They were
without
like
knocking.
3 little Mexican guys, and they're like, I don't know them, and there's 3 men, and they're small. Their color really didn't matter, but they didn't speak any English, which is concerning. Well, not concerning that they didn't speak English, but it's difficult for when a bunch of people are trying to break into your house.
They're
with
not
no
trying to
notice.
break into your house. They were just
They were
trying,
taking the doorknob and
they
going
were
like this.
trying
There
to
was
enter the house
but
for
there's no,
whatever reason
but
we don't
there's,
know.
But they were. You don't understand. It was aggressive.
But it wasn't a break-in.
Why
They
are
were
you trying
working.
to open the door and bang on the door while you're?
I think they needed water or something. I don't know. I don't
They
know.
had just gone to the house.
Yeah, I don't know
we
why
had
they
no
would have
idea
tried
they
to
were
open the
coming.
door.
They didn't knock. They didn't say, "Hey, we're here." They didn't say anything. They just tried to come in the house. The blinds were open. I'm sitting there on the couch with the TV going. So it was fucking creepy. It was really scary, and I've been like super jumpy. I'm jumpy to begin with. That has made me even more jumpy.
A kid ran through the yard before, and she was like,
I
"Oh."
just didn't know what it was.
What's that?
I don't have a problem with anybody, but like, listen. I don't have a problem with anybody. I would love to be in a position to host everybody. I love having company and like doing dinner. Like so many people have been to dinner parties or parties at my house or just like come and hung out for game night or playing Jackbox or whatever. But I just haven't been feeling very well. And Doug's barely keeping it together, and not really. Like, things are kind of falling apart around here, in case you haven't fucking noticed.
Yeah, just look at your hair.
So, look at your hair.
Nah, my hair is golden. No, it's not golden. It's,
should have gone up further on that side, but no. Anyway.
People pay money to have hair like this. Maybe not
yes,
this
you
gray.
get your hair done for free.
But
so anyway, I woke up this morning and I didn't feel that good, and that's kind of like what happens every day. We never know how I'm going to feel, and as much as I would love to host and be a functioning member of society, I can't even get through like a Tuesday, or today is Monday. I had to take cannabis oil. I was in agony. By 11 a.m., I was crying in pain.
Well, probably before that, you had a contact lens emergency. You had you woke up and your shoulder. Well, actually, you went to bed. Your shoulder was in pain. You went to bed early last night.
And then again this morning.
Yeah. So
that person needs brakes. We got a caliper jammed on the fuck down. You can hear it as they drive by. Anyway, not the point. The point is that
drive by. She'll fix your car.
Please
for
don't
you.
just randomly appear at our house. And also, if you do randomly appear, or you're actually scheduled to appear, the likelihood that I'm not wearing a bra, pretty high. The likelihood that the house is a mess, pretty high. The likelihood that there's like a package of toilet paper from Costco in the guest room still sitting there from 2 weeks ago when we went to Costco.
I already put it away.
Good job, but it was there for 2 weeks.
But here's the thing. You know how like your chances of being killed by a house cat are never zero. Well, your chances of showing up here and me wearing a bra is never zero, because you just never know.
You never know.
You never know what I'm doing.
Also, I traced my lines on my hand, so if someone could tell
like a
me
turkey?
what that means, like if I'm going to die, hopefully sooner than later, or if I'm going to get a cat, when am I going to get rid of the cat? Because I have allergies.
It's a support.
What does that
cat.
mean? Okay. Anyway, so that was point number 1 of the weekend. Oh, and then I was in the pool, swimming my laps, which is probably why my shoulder is fucked up if you combine that with a Lyme. And we're sitting here, and I look across the street, not the corner house. The corner house, they have like normalness. I'll tell you in a minute. But across the street, there's a multifamily, and everybody on the street swears that these people sell drugs. I don't know if they do. I don't know if they don't. If they have some drugs, they should bring them over. I might like some. Depends on the drugs. I like drugs that grow in the ground. That's not the point. The point is that they had this spectacular. Was that a Porsche?
No, it wasn't a Porsche.
It was a Porsche or a Lotus. It was something. It was a
something legit.
Crazy
I couldn't
car
really see it.
that does not belong in this neighborhood.
Yeah,
it does not.
Did
belong.
not have. Yeah.
My 2011 Jeep Wrangler with body rot and Doug's 2009 Volvo that doesn't want to start. That's this neighborhood. Not the point. And hey, listen, we don't have payments. Actually, I think we have the shittiest cars on our street.
We have the shittiest cars of anybody I know.
But we love our cars.
Yeah, we absolutely love our cars.
So there you go. We're not. It doesn't take much to make us happy.
Although I've only been to the car wash once. There's car washes everywhere down in Florida here, and I've only been once to wash my car, and I'm noticing that because it's in the garage, right? It's not a big deal. There's no salt on the road, so I need to go again. But last time we went, please don't draw on me. Thank you. Marital hate.
I want to make you look like you have black hair.
Okay. So anyways, the last time I went and got my car washed, my car is black. I got the hot lava wax treatment. Now, nothing shines like hot lava, so they tell me. Anyways, I just thought it was funny, hot lava. Thank you for that. Now
He loves to rub hot lava all over his body.
Hot lava. Hot lava should be a good would be a good name for a
like Aqua Velva.
A mountain tribute band. Would you please put it away? Yell at me for rambling. And yet you're over here.
We haven't even gotten to our fun adventure.
Okay, so there was a fun adventure. All right, so
Doug had hot lava. He loves it. He loves hot lava. He wants to rub it all over his
hot
body.
lava. If you want treat your car like take it for a treat,
like a nice lady,
like a nice, sexy, shapely Swedish.
You want it sexy, sweet.
My car is sexy and Swedish. So what do you want? What do you want from me?
Why don't you go? Actually, that's not even your car.
It is. It's your car. The Jeep is mine. Thanks for putting a bunch of dents in it and a lot of body rod.
Fucking Zach!
Bane of my goddamn existence.
Okay, so we had
second bane.
So we're here in the pool. We realized that there's a very fancy car that does not belong in this neighborhood here.
She's being judgmental about this car. Somebody could work very hard to buy that car.
We already, first of all, it's like a triple house. You don't have a car nicer than yours.
Maybe they saved
Don't have a
money
car nicer than
on
yours.
on,
That person
on
didn't
getting
live
a
there.
little apartment.
With getting a deal on drugs?
Well, maybe that person was visiting someone.
I don't know.
Like a family. You got
I'm
some
just
sketchy
saying,
ass family members. You show up in your fancy Jeep.
all of my family members are sketchy in
Your
some way. shape, or
brand
form.
new fancy Jeep. You show up.
Some
I
of
bet
them
you
are
look out of
weirdly
place.
normal. I think people who are normal are the sketchy ones, like normal. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is that the car does not normally belong there. There's a neighborhood rumor that there's a drug dealer, and also there's
The
indications.
neighborhood rumor is from you.
No, there's been more than one person that has said this. 3 people in the street have now said it to me.
Okay.
One of them moved. So
You know why she moved?
she lived next door to
Was a
them.
drug dealer.
Anyway, that's not the point. The point is that like,
But they're kinda
there's
over there.
also
What
there's
do I
always
give a
like
shit?
cars pulling over on our side street and they stop
It's
and keep
Florida.
getting-
It's like the outlaw city over here.
Can you just let me fucking tell my story?
I'm part of this podcast.
I understand that you're
Tell
part
the
of
story.
this, but I would like to get through it so we can get to the good stuff because we have a lot to talk
All right.
about.
All
Today.
right.
I've even delved into my notes. So the house directly across from us, it's a corner lot. It's on the canal. It's got a boat lift. They have this gorgeous RV, but they're fucking pulling their gorgeous RV with like an old model Durango, or is it Dodge?
No,
pickup?
it's
a Dodge,
It's a Dodge.
pickup, but it's an old model. Like it's like at least it's
Bobcat.
like probably 05.
No, it's newer than that.
I don't
Not
know.
much though.
I don't know.
It's
that
a nice
newer
truck
than
though.
that.
They got babies. It's all.
Because my
shiny.
Durango was an 04, and that's the earlier body style.
It's the same body style.
If you say so.
Yes.
We disagree. However, the point is that that car didn't belong in this neighborhood, and I think that it was drugs. So, and I don't know if you're gonna have drugs in my neighborhood. I think you should have to go door to door and share with anybody
Well,
who
maybe
might
that's
like
what
some.
that kid was for.
If I had drugs to share, I would share
This
them.
bird is sort of arguing with you. I don't know if
Not
you
as much
noticed
as
that.
you are. So the big when I had pussy pain, that was a problem. I was just having like pains in my pussy, and I couldn't explain them. Does that happen to other people? Just have like a shooting pain in your vagina for no reason?
No, I don't
Because I had
have
it
that.
repeatedly for like, I don't know, 15 minutes. Our little friend is popping in on break. Have you ever had pains?
Well,
Ask your
let's put up a
friends.
poll. We can put up a poll
Everyone
online.
ask everyone you know with a vagina if they've ever just been sitting there on the couch and gotten sudden shooting pains in their vagina. Because it happened to me for like an hour the other night.
Which way were they shooting? In or out?
No, like shooting down.
Oh, down.
It was
That's the
weird.
worst- that's the worst
It was
kind.
very weird. Oh, and we talked about, so I'm gonna have to loop back to vaginas and buttholes and Doug's asshole. We have to talk about that.
That's what they call a teaser in the business. We're gonna loop back to that.
We're gonna loop back to that. There's a whole body fluid section today, but it was just funny that the guy looked at you and said, "White guy, bye bye." I thought that was funny that the
It's like,
neighbors were drug dealers.
Wrong place.
We went to our friend Jeff, who I met through the Residents of Cape Coral group. Super nice guy. Messaged us last week at the last minute. Was like, "Hey, you should join this group, New Englanders of Southwest Florida." We're like, okay. He's like, they're doing a get together, and I'm like, fuck, I hate leaving the house, but I really like Jeff. Like, Jeff seems super cool, and it was an opportunity to meet them without having to host anybody. And again, it's not that we don't want to host. I just feel like shit. And so, so I joined the group, and we tried to go. And there was some, like, because this poor woman is trying to organize this single-handedly, and all these people want to go, and people are saying +1, not +1, whatever. She's trying to put it together single-handedly, and I come in at the last minute and fuck up her count. She was so nice about it, and she got us in. I was like, oh, I'm really sorry, because she had people come and cancel and come and cancel, and I'm like, oh my God, like, I am adding to your stress level, and you do not need that. And she got us in, and she ended up being really sweet. We signed in, got little name tags.
We did. Where we were
For
from.
some reason, Doug put Wormtown on
I did. I
his.
put Wormtown on there.
Yeah,
Represent.
but we've lived in Situate Marshfield for how long now? When was the last time you lived in Wormtown? You're
88.
like, are you gonna put a?
It was Wormtown
So
88.
you're gonna get a tattoo of everywhere you live but Massachusetts? What? He can't watch 3 minutes
it's
of
18,
this.
18
Doesn't matter.
minutes, so-
He can't
okay,
watch
we're
3
good.
minutes of this podcast.
We're good.
He should be fine.
Yeah. And why don't you talk a little bit about where it was? It was a New England.
It was at a place called the Clam Bake in Fort Myers, which was a weird location.
It's all weird.
It's
down
like
here.
this. It's
Everything's
this
a
weird
mall.
strip mall, but it was plenty of parking. The restaurant was really charming. The staff was fantastic.
It was loaded with the walls had all pictures of New England. We sat under
Zakem
a
Bridge,
Zakem Bridge
a lot of the
thing.
lighthouses. We didn't even look for we were having such a good time.
Yeah, there was a Bob Cousy drawing and a Gronk thing. Like it was all New England. And then halfway through through the night, they start playing Sweet Caroline. The whole place is going nuts.
Well, I want to back up a little bit. So
Okay,
we
sorry.
get there, we don't know anyone. Well, we know Jeff from like online. We don't really know much else, and he seems like a nice guy. And but you never know with people from the internet. Like they could be fantastic, they could be terrible.
She was from the internet.
He was from the internet.
Yeah.
See? So anyway, we get in there, and Jeff waves to us. We come over, we meet them, we meet the other. I don't even get to say hi to them as I'm saying hi to the other people at the table, and we made friends with. Let's see, Jeff. It was fantastic, better than we could have ever asked for. Fantastic energy, really great guy. He's a total badass.
And he knows the guy that runs the Skunk Ape Research Center, which is about an hour
Doug
from there.
loves to name drop. He's real big on the
right.
Skunk Ape celebrity set. So anyway, Jeff's there with his lovely wife Lisa, who I just love to pieces. She's so
She's
sweet.
very nice.
They have a Boston Terrier. I think her name is Penelope.
Who
they
was
got-
not there.
And
at
they
the
got
restaurant.
kids down here. They got kids in Colorado,
Louisiana.
and they got
Oh,
it's
I'm sorry.
super
The
nice.
kid in Louisiana is in witness protection. So I'm sorry about that. We'll edit that out later. I'm kidding.
So they were
It's
the I don't know what's going on with my hair.
I don't either.
They were like the nicest people you'll ever meet, and we also got to meet at our table was oh my god, Pam, who's like a badass biker bitch, and oh my god, I hope she wouldn't be offended by that. She was super cool.
What? That she's a bitch? Don't
Well, I
call
don't think
people
she's
bitches.
a bitch, but she's a badass.
Okay.
And then her best friend Tammy also moved down. They were from the North Shore, so we're like having a battle of North and
Right.
South with them at the dinner table.
Almost stay over there.
Tammy was super cool. I was obsessed with her curls. I loved
Yeah,
her.
yeah, she was-
they both
they were
had
both
fantastic energy. They're like my besties. I love them. And then Vivi and Bill came, and Vivi was this hot.
I would not like to comment on that because Bill is gigantic.
Yes, Bill
He'll
would
crush
kill you,
me
but
like a grape.
Vivi was absolutely gorgeous, and she had the most beautiful accent, and she had the most beautiful outfit, and it was hard though because she has a thick accent, and I can't hear for shit, and it was loud in there, so sometimes I didn't really know what she was saying. And Bill, my favorite one is I introduced myself, and I told people how we knew Jeff, and then we talked to everybody at the table, and we made friends with everybody. Like I said, everybody couldn't have been fucking nicer if you tried. They were like the coolest people you'd ever meet. I was so worried that we were gonna get at a table with like a bunch of weirdos or normal people, and we wouldn't know what to do, or like they'd be like, "What's wrong with your spaghetti hair?" Like I don't know. I didn't know what it was gonna be.
they were all
But
great.
so all night I'm just acting like my normal self. I'm not doing that thing where I pretend to be a normal human being because that throws people the fuck off. Oh, look who's here, and so I'm trying to. I'm just myself. I'm like, okay, these people are safe. I can be myself. And as I finished, and I've been telling everybody about the podcast, and I've been saying completely inappropriate things to be saying in a public setting or any setting for that matter. And I mentioned to Bill that he has this amazing presence. And he says, well, because I have a personal relationship with Jesus Christ, which is fantastic. But all I can think to myself is, oh shit, today, in order to promote the podcast, I put a picture of a dog's ass with the silhouette of Jesus on it.
It was a natural occurring.
So here I am asking all
holy
these nice
vision.
people to watch our podcast, and also telling them, do not watch our podcast. It's absolutely terrible. And I think that Pam, who's watching right now, can attest to that. I warned you. It was a shit show. You probably shouldn't watch this. We're terrible people. But usually we're joking and we do mean well.
Well, it's one thing to talk about
Oh my
like this,
God.
like
But he's like
amongst
the
ourselves.
nicest guy on the planet, and I'm like,
Yeah,
oh,
he
you,
is a nice guy. He's a
you
great
love
guy.
the Lord, and I say horrifying, blasphemous things on a regular basis.
But I think he said that was okay because I was talking to him a little
You
bit
did?
about it, and Jesus died for our sins. Therefore, we
didn't
do
have-
whatever the hell we want.
I don't think that's
say
what he
whatever you
said.
want,
As a
do
matter of
whatever
fact,
you
I'm
want.
looking at an email from him right now. So
Oh,
super nice
okay,
guy.
all right.
So then it gets
Maybe
really
I got that
crazy.
wrong.
So I had gone outside to talk because the whole dinner I was mostly talking to Vivi and Tammy, and did I call Pam? I think I called Tammy the wrong name before. Did I call her Tammy? I'm so sorry. My brain is mushed today. Tammy and Pam.
Did you call him Tampammy?
I don't even know that you. As long
Pam
as I don't
Tammy?
call them tampon, that would be
No,
terrible.
that's not good.
And
Sorry, Bill. That's a female thing that they need sometimes.
my cousin brought one to school for show and tell, and
Yeah.
said it was a 2-stage rocket. Anyway, not the point. My point is, I'm terrible with
It's
names.
for the
I'm a
Red
terrible
Planet.
person. But they're the nicest people. So mostly I was talking to Vivi and Pam and Tammy, nicest people in the whole world. And I would try to talk to Lisa and Jeff and Doug, but there's too much, and I'm overstimulated. And I had iced tea, which is caffeine, and Do I look like
Yeah.
the kind of person
Yeah,
who's
that was,
caffeine?
that was smart.
No. Anyway, I went outside with them for a little while. We talked. A nice gentleman complimented my tattoos, which made my day. And we just had a really nice chat. And they're super nice people, and they showed me pictures of their children and grandchildren, and they're so beautiful. And Jeff, I love Jeff because he was like, I was asking, because he has a bunch of us actually there had fucking health issues. We're all like a bunch of cripples, and he had an injury, and so we were talking about our health stuff, and he's like, I don't like to give any energy to it because it gives it power, and then I feel worse. And I'm like, you know what, Jeff, you're right. Let's talk about anything else. And we did, and we had a great time, and we're looking forward to getting together with them soon. And then the coolest part was on my way back in. I wasn't feeling well. I thought we were gonna have to leave, but I got my second wind. On the way back in, we met. I think the woman who had organized this, Lisa, and we met Lisa and her husband Chris when we got there, and they were the nicest people you could ever meet. They were also from Woburn?
Well, Chris was originally from Foxborough. He grew up in Foxborough, and they ended up living in Beverly. So they were from kind of a little bit everywhere. So
and they had just
fantastic
really
people.
interesting stories. I've been talking to Lisa often. Well, I talked to her for a while yesterday. Not that long today because I don't think I talked to her. Well, she helped me with a cable question today. So she's the nicest person in the whole world. Talked to her for a ton yesterday. I've just talked to, I've been talking to a lot of people lately, and today was not that great day. I wanted to talk to my pal Todd, didn't feel up to it. I still haven't talked to Kristen. I want to talk to my friend Patty. There's too many people. And
you were not doing well today.
I was
and
not doing well.
You were probably in bed for most of it.
Well, I climbed in. I took my dress off, climbed in bed, and laid there, and then the weed kicked in, and so I perked up a little bit. Did we put the diffuser on?
No.
That's why I'm getting bit by bugs. Bugs. We usually run a diffuser with essential oils in it to keep the bugs away. Because, is there anything in it?
Yes.
To keep the bugs away because they love me. That is how I got Lyme disease. Okay, so was there anything else we did? Oh, Doug.
Coming back.
Doug had a hard time with hard-boiled eggs.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been incredibly stressed out, increasingly so since he lost his job in September. But he's got some leads right now on a couple of things, maybe?
Actually, I had a couple of instances today where I reached out to people that know the people or know some people at the places. So I swear to God, the only way you'll get a job in this market is with some sort of connection. So
yes, I think that's the truth in most markets. Mick Griffin, who we talked about at length last week.
Yes.
I had been on one sales call with him. And my former boss told his boss, the owner of this company, that he sounded like a James Bond villain.
So Mick sounded like a James Bond?
No, that his boss did, because the boss was Polish.
Oh, right. Okay,
and,
yeah, I remember.
And so he called me and asked me if I wanted a job, and I had one phone call with him.
Who, the James Bond guy?
No, Mick.
Oh,
Mick called me, and I was like, yeah, sure. And I met up with him in New York. It was right before my grandmother died.
Mick was desperate at that point. Admit it.
Perhaps. And I met up with Mick at in New York City. I took the megabus in, and I had pneumonia. And I met up with a friend in New York who didn't believe that I had pneumonia, and sure enough, I got home and had pneumonia. And so I was like, because he was like, "You do not have pneumonia. You're crazy." But that's the thing. People fucking dismiss other people's illnesses, and it probably came from them getting dismissed when they weren't feeling well as kids themselves. But it's kind of shitty. And I know that there were times with my kids, I couldn't tell if they were faking or actually sick, and it's tough because they all had at least a Lyme exposure. They were all diagnosed with Lyme at one point, and I didn't know. I'm sorry, I'm itchy. I didn't know about an invisible illness until I had one myself. You just don't know, and you don't get it till you get it, as they say. So that's always a hard thing. I think you want to give people the support that they deserve, but you don't want to encourage a hypochondriac or give people attention for something that's negative. So it's hard, and it's tough because even in I'm really involved in the Lyme community, and one of the things that happens with Lyme is that you can have psych issues, and some of these people become unhinged, and we've all seen it, and you want to help them, but you can't. And it's I got a couple right now that's I know that not only can I not help them, but no one can help them because they're just in this state of crisis, and unless they calm themselves down, they're not going to get any better. And it's so hard. It's such a complicated disease, and no wonder that people get like that. I've been that way myself at times. You can't get help. It's nothing's covered by insurance. Doctors don't know what the hell they're doing. You're lucky if you can get a diagnosis. It's fucking bullshit. So yeah, I understand why some of them are crazy, and I don't know where I was going with that. But I would like to.
That was what we call in the business a tangent.
Maybe. I did learn one nice thing from our friends at dinner. Was about a thing called night vaginas.
Yes.
Can you explain the night vaginas, please?
Apparently, well, it's a long story, but this gentleman was calling mussels from the seafood plate. He was calling them night vaginas.
Why was he calling them night vaginas?
Well, I assume because they were the color of night.
Well,
and they kind of look like a vagina.
So there's some sports team down here that changed their name. And he didn't like the name, and I don't know what the name was. But
the name originally was the skunk apes, and then they changed it to something else. But he called them in the interim, someone suggested that they call them the night vagina and have a mussel, open mussel.
So that's what they're called, the night vaginas.
Yeah. Well, they're not called the night vaginas now, but that was just a suggestion of a name.
If I'm calling them the night vaginas, and Jeff is calling them the night vaginas, and that guy's calling them the night vaginas, and you call them the night vaginas, and they call them
I don't even know what team it is, so I can't call them anything.
Team? What the hell? What is a team? A team of what?
It was a baseball team.
Oh, fuck that. Okay. The only baseball I like to watch the Red Sox with obstructed view.
They're all obstructed view in Fenway.
If you haven't been to Fenway Park, you have to go. Don't worry, you'll be too busy watching like newborn babies and old men and guys that look like Eric Clapton. Girls trying to pick up guys and I don't know,
beer vendors.
You won't even notice that you have an obstructed view seat until the
ice cold beer.
Anyway, we once went to a game at Fenway that ran, 19 innings?
19-inning game.
And I refused to leave.
2 a.m.
Then
I'm let's go. Come on.
Then we went to, was it Dorchester on the way home?
Yeah, with
Dorchester on the way home.
The perfect place to go on the way home. Let's go to Dorchester. It's 2 a.m.
They fucking closed concessions down, 7th inning?
Yeah.
7th inning.
So between inning 7 and 19,
you can't get a drop
of
water. You're going into the bathroom and taking sips out of a trough. If you want to drink.
And so they have these nice coolers,
dying.
The vending, stations always have the nice coolers, but they were all locked. You could see the nice cold Dasani in there. You couldn't get it.
So anyway,
a caged animal in reverse.
We had to have something to eat or drink, so we stopped at a McDonald's of all fucking places in fucking Dorchester, and we're in the drive-thru, and there's crackheads walking up to us, and I'm like, Doug, wake up, look scary.
I was trying to say, I had to work the next day. It was 2:30 in the goddamn morning.
You've stayed up till 2:30 in the morning watching the Red Sox before.
Yeah, in 2004, and I was tired for a month. Everybody was tired in 2004 for a month.
That's true, but it was worth it.
Still catching up.
Anyway, the point was that those are night vaginas.
Which, come to find out, our friends Jeff and Lisa had moved down here in 2004, so they didn't even get to experience the Red Sox furor of 2004.
Sad. I would like to talk about doing yoga together.
Well, okay. Talk about night vaginas.
I'm in my dress, but I don't have panties on or a bra or anything. It's just a muumuu.
It's just a cloak.
It's a muumuu, and so I'm
It's like that thing Prince Charles wore that was fur, only that hers is cotton.
So I'm laying on the ground and doing all of these. Can you do an impression?
Well, she was kind of woo with the legs in the air, and
I don't remember that being one of the exercises.
It was called the
bridge
woo position.
There was a bridge.
I don't know what it was, but there was.
And so Doug and I were facing opposite directions, and
he thought it was coffee table was pushed over.
He thought it was the funniest thing in the whole world. So if you want your husband to do yoga,
it's supposed to be all relaxing.
I suggest you do it naked in a 69 position.
It's all there. You go. All there for the world to see.
That said, we both. I don't want to speak for you, but we find 69 to be. Meh. I think one at a time. Let's take turns. What do you think? Do you want a 69?
I want to be part of the fun. Everybody keeps talking about it. Everybody laughs at it.
Do you want to try to 69?
No,
we can do it right now. We'll do it on the thing.
No, I'm fine.
We need more viewers.
I would have done it on the yoga mat if I was so inclined.
We didn't do it on a yoga mat. We did it on the carpet. Oh, we sit down, and the area in front of Doug is covered in granola.
Because I ate granola.
Because you remember how we talked about he wears food last week? He had poop on his pants, probably chocolate.
He had poop on my pants.
He had cheese the other day. He always has food on him. I always just get it on my tits, but that's where the tie-dye comes in. It hides the tides.
Food.
Stains. It hides the stains.
Anyways, I had some granola. It was, it's granola. It's like sawdust.
But you didn't enjoy it?
No, I did enjoy it,
Okay.
and I actually
We
went
have
to
to
get
get more
more
of
at
that
Publix
granola.
today, and guess what? They were out because it was a good flavor.
They have a good granola at Costco that's probably a lot better. For
It was like this was organic coconut something granola with quinoa, had good stuff
telling you,
for
the
you.
Costco one.
Very short list of ingredients.
We want to do a T-shirt transfer, and we have a little debate about this.
Oh, there's
going-
no debate.
And we could look it up. If you buy one of those iron-on T-shirt things, I realize we don't have an iron. We're gonna have to borrow one from friends.
We don't have an
But
iron.
if we got one of those, and we had a black T-shirt, and we painted our logo on it, like the flamingo in the pool, would that come out? Doug says no, because you can't print white. I think because the background is white, you can have white, and then you do the transfer. But he says no. So I would like to know what you guys think. And
I've
because
only
I
been a
would like-
professional designer for over 30 years.
Well, then how do you make a T-shirt? Because there's T-shirts out there that have white in them.
Okay, here's the thing. If you do a transfer, you print it on something white and then glue that to the shirt, yes. But if you're having like just whatever, like this print right here,
No, that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to do it like one of your T-shirts that has a picture on the front of it. I
Yeah.
don't know what to tell you. It has to be because it's a picture, which was my issue with it
right,
in the
but
first
that's
place.
not an iron-on. That's a T-shirt printer that has a white ink to it, or white toner ink. Or
I don't
something.
know that you're right about that.
You can't print it. We don't have white toner in our printer, so
Well-
we can't print something
Well-
and then magically have a color that we don't have an ink cartridge for.
But if the background is white, just like when you have a tattoo,
Yeah.
they don't put white. They just
So if you want to do a colored logo on a white shirt, yeah, sure, we can do a
I'm not
colored-
trying to
a
do it.
transfer on that.
I don't think we're communicating this well, and I think we're boring the people. So
Probably.
I don't even know what to say, but I wish we could communicate better. I could do without the bell. We did argue about something this weekend, and I was proven to be right. Your asshole does, in fact, have taste buds, ladies and gentlemen. In case you did not know, your asshole has taste buds. What? I'm just saying.
To
that-
the point where my wife says, "You never tasted Indian food on the way out," and I'm like,
your asshole has taste buds. That means if you want to eat junk food and you're on a diet, just shove it up your ass. Anything's a dildo if you try hard enough.
to my wife.
I don't know that you really should do that. You could get some sort of infection. Consult your local healthcare professional. Or,
You're gonna end up in the ER with a Milky Way.
Oh yeah, dude. Anything in your ass that, like, if it doesn't have a flange on it, it can go shooting up there. We did a whole flange up your ass episode.
You've done a lot of research on this, haven't you?
I have a lot of gay friends. I watch a lot of fucked up videos on the internet.
Oh,
I have a lot of free time. I like things shoved up my ass. Just kidding. Well, not really. It's maybe. I don't know. It depends. That's not the point. No.
Toy alligators. going up
See,
there.
that's no flange on that. I think if there's no flange on that, can you imagine being in the ER with this in your fucking ass? That actually you should.
No.
Oh my god,
The,
that would be
the
so
funny
good
thing
for
is
the
the
podcast.
person that
You put
X-rays
this-
you, and then sees the shape. There's like a live baby alligator in somebody's.
See, the problem is,
behind.
this is the problem. This is Florida. So no matter how many times Doug lubes this up and shoves it up his ass and goes to the ER, somebody went in there with a live
with
one
a
up
live
there.
one. Yeah.
I want to know if a man has ever been. I'm going to Google that. Man shoves live alligator. If somebody can
I don't think there's
sodomize,
much shoving.
somebody sodomized a flamingo to death, I think you can shove.
Hey, if they did it with
a live
gerbils, they'll do
alligator.
it with a alligator.
Man puts live alligator up his
Which
ass.
is actually dangerous because the little baby alligator is going to make a noise and the mom is going to come looking.
Okay, this is what I got. Tied up alligator headbutts man trying to capture him. I would be really pissed off if I headbutted a dog and people are an alligator and people are like, "Oh, man puts live alligator up his ass." I don't want to be confused with the live alligator
Yeah,
up the
yeah.
ass guy.
Watch guy fall in a gator pit. We have some good YouTubes to watch when we're done with this podcast.
Yeah, well, the point is nobody's ever put a live alligator up their ass, and I say you do it. You'd be in the Guinness Book of World Records. You get a
Although,
job for
as
that.
we know, you're not supposed to. Actually, the law states do not molest alligators. in the
Yeah,
state
some
of
guy
Florida.
brought
Don't
an
molest them.
alligator with him to the liquor store, and he got in trouble.
He
for
did.
that.
It was a
He's
big
gonna-
one too. He's carrying
he was
it.
like,
He's running around.
I'm getting a fine. I'm probably going to jail.
And he doesn't remember it. He doesn't know
He
how he got the
remember any of it.
alligator. He
There's a
doesn't
video.
know. Like it
It's
wasn't his.
great.
It's
fucking love
I think that
Florida.
guy might win.
You know what?
Florida
I
Man.
gotta tell you, as much as I miss Tuna Man is Florida Man.
Well, that's the thing.
You're gonna have to watch an old
Florida Man's
episode
not supposed to exist in
to learn about Tuna
They're
Man.
not ready for that.
Tuna Man is a
They're-
good story.
They've been. That's where the Puritans landed, and that like
Where? The Marshfield Inn?
Well,
The Puritans or the Pilgrims? Aren't-
Pilgrims and the Puritans were the same thing.
I thought the Puritans owned like an overpriced store in downtown Hyannis. They had like ugly clothes.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Anybody know Puritans in downtown Hyannis with ugly fucking clothes?
Thanks, Puritans,
Overpriced ugly clothes. Actually,
they won't be sponsoring this podcast
They had
anymore.
some cute stuff, but it was overpriced. I don't even know if they're open anymore. A lot of stuff is left downtown Hyannis. I haven't been there in a while. So, also...
Oh, speaking of the Cape, the bad news today came down that the Christmas tree shop is closing at the Sagamore Bridge with the big windmill. That's kind of a...
What would you put there?
Kind of an issue. What I would put some sort of mini golf resort. I'd have an indoor, outdoor. I would have that place hopping.
It's not that big. It's a fairly
Big
small.
enough.
It's got that lot down the hill though. They have that part, the overflow
Yeah,
lot.
that's where you put like the fountain and stuff. That's
I don't think you can put a resort there, but you could put some sort
Not
of
a
family
resort.
entertainment center there.
Yes, that's what I'm
But
doing.
if you put it, because people get. Here's the thing: the bridge backs up. So if you're not from Massachusetts, if you've never been there, there's a bridge, and there's 2 bridges to get off and on the Cape. There's also a tunnel. You can buy a pass. We sell them for $150. They're good for a year.
Yeah.
And you can go through the tunnel, and it's very, very exclusive.
There's no
thing.
tunnel.
Don't tell them that. Some people are stupid enough to believe that. I'm not going to name names, but I know somebody that actually thought that there was a fucking Cape Cod tunnel. There is not a Cape Cod tunnel.
There's a Cape Coral tunnel that takes you right to that strip club tent down in Fort Myers Beach, right under.
Yeah, you just where the yacht club used to be.
Zoop.
Anyway.
Don't tell them where it is.
Oh, people will know. Oh, anyway, we're selling those passes. They're only $100.
Yeah, it's Florida. It's because we're not paying
less
taxes.
expensive. No, we pay taxes. Anyway, so the pass, so to get off Cape Cod, there's only 2 bridges, and they're both 4 lanes wide. And in the summertime, everybody goes there. If you live in Massachusetts,
And they'll go home at the same time.
everybody goes home on Sundays. The best time to leave is Sunday at 7:00 at night. You miss everything because everybody's home by then. But it would be cool to have like some sort of family entertainment center there. So when the traffic is shitty, people get off and they go there. That's not the worst idea, where they could get food and some store. Because like on the other side of the bridge is the
Friendlies.
there's like a McDonald's and a
I don't know if that
Friendly's
Friendlies is still open though.
I don't know, and there might be there's a Dunks, there's that gas station where we watched the
Oh,
drug
yeah,
deal
we
go
did
down.
watch a drug
We
deal
watched a
there.
drug deal go down one night. One guy gave it to him, and then the other guy gave it to him. We're like,
I don't think that
was
Friendly's
an
is,
actual drug deal. So that's not the point. The point is that we could have something on the other side of the bridge for people who are waiting in traffic. And there's not a ton for kids who are on the Cape to do in the wintertime, so if they could use the main building for something, I don't know. That'd be cool.
Sagamore Friendlies closed its doors permanently in 2018.
Probably because the drug deal's going on next door on the run station. So that was fun.
Anyway.
The point is that it's sad to hear that they're closing, but I would like to get back to the topic of assholes. So one thing that we were talking about this weekend is how your pee is starting to go like it's more spurty when you pee. It takes you longer to pee now.
Yeah, because I'm almost a 60-year-old. I'm 57-year-old.
And so we were talking about the various ways that you could possibly help yourself. And one thing we talked about is a castor oil pack. So I would like to shove some castor oil up your ass. Can we do that tonight?
Well, I don't think anything needs to shove up my ass.
No, castor oil will slide up your ass. And you'll be able to taste it. Are you excited? It'll be almost as much fun as a jet ski enema.
I never
which
saw
gave to my
any.
friends.
I never consulted my local expert in healthcare to find out if castor oil up your butt will help your prostate.
I'm going to Google it.
Interesting.
Castor.
That's great.
So you know what's funny, because I've been doing
Castor oil packs.
I should probably have castor oil in the rectum instead of up the
That's my wife, folks. It's
An
my wife.
injection of castor oil or solution containing castor oil into the rectum is as a laxative. Not common in common usage today. The use message was 2 ounces of castor oil with 1 ounce of soft soap and 10 to 20 ounces of water.
20 ounces of water in your butthole.
I put way more than that. I had the big bag in my butthole. I've also put essential oils in my butthole, so my ass smells like flowers. You're welcome.
Tastes
Another
like flowers.
recipe. You're welcome. Another recipe is to add 2 ounces of castor oil into a mixture of starch and water. The starch absorbs the castor oil, because castor or oil, water, not so much. And it didn't separate rapidly from the water, and once administered, caused the castor oil to adhere to the walls of the colon, enhancing the effectiveness of the enema. Oh, nice!
3
Castor oil is not
hours
particularly
later.
is not a particularly fast-acting laxative. It generally given rectally Usually requires a minimum of 30 minutes to an hour to be effective. Castor oil. So don't like take it as you're like running out the door. Do it like, you know, when you're home for the night.
When you're, yes,
We're petting the cat on the sofa.
I'm gonna run out the door.
Castor oil is also sometimes used as an enema without being mixed with any other ingredients. You just shove it right up there. In this case, 2 ounces of castor of the oil are placed in a bulk
4
syringe and
hours
injected
later.
into the rectum. The drawback of
5
this...
hours later.
Do you not want to know about putting castor oil in your asshole?
No, I really don't.
I just want you to know, some individuals experience a bowel movement within 30 minutes and others may require up to 2 hours before evacuation occurs. Castor oil up your ass. I just think it might help your... I just... Castor oil in the prostate. I'm just saying, there's just a lot of really good things that you can do with castor oil that people ignore. You can do castor oil packs for bone spurs or cysts or any kind of stuff. This guy beat it.
That's sponsored. Never click on a sponsored link, people. It's
What is
bullcrap.
going on over there?
That's a ultralight aircraft.
Is it?
No, I just made that up.
What the fuck is it?
I don't know what it is. This is good viewing right here.
Oh, it's a dirt bike. There's a dirt bike coming down the road. Okay.
By MF.
Whatever you want to call it. Well, prostate massage oil. Rub this anti-inflammatory oil on the prostate area once a day. It contains castor oil, sesame oil, calendula flower oil, St. John's wort oil, and apricot oil. So there you go. We're going to rub your asshole later. Maybe on Saturday.
And then we'll talk about it on the podcast because it'll be so much fun.
These people are here to see what kind of crazy
Sounds like an
shit we
airboat,
say.
yeah.
It would be nice if it was an airboat, but it was definitely not.
Yeah.
We love airboats.
Oh,
we want
airboats.
an airboat.
Oh, yes.
We want one bad. Okay. While we're on the topic, one of our friends called us this weekend, and he had food poisoning. He had problems. I'm sorry about his food poisoning.
Speaking of oily buttholes.
And then he was telling us about how he wanted to find a nude beach,
He didn't say
Yes,
that.
he did. No, he said,
He's
look it
looking
up. He asked me, he said, I like walking around naked. And I said, that's good. I like walking around naked too. But I have known you for quite some time now, and I have never seen you walk around naked. And he's like, well, I like to walk around naked. And I'm like, cool. And he's like, but there's nowhere to do that. Like, whatever. And I was like, well, you could go to a nude beach. And because I always, like, it's common knowledge, at least to you guys, and obviously he listens to the podcast, that I do not enjoy clothes. They hurt. And I often come in my pool in just a t-shirt or sometimes completely naked, or it's not really, it's like a tank top. Anyway, that's not the point. He wanted to be naked. And so he brought up the topic of, I said, oh, you should come to one of the nude beaches down here. And he said, I heard there's one on the Cape. I Googled it. Sure enough, plenty of nude beaches on the Cape. But primarily what they're talking about is you can walk around with your tatas showing. Who gives two shits about tits? He wants to rock out with his cock out. So we looked it up and found out that there is, in fact, a beach in, of all places, Provincetown, where you can, in fact, rock out with your cock out.
Here's the thing, right? What if he had Googled that beforehand? Stacy, where's there a nude beach for me to go? Oh, Provincetown. So it made it okay for him to go to Provincetown. Like he wanted to go to
It's always
Provincetown.
okay for him to go to Provincetown. I encourage everybody to do whatever makes you happy. Just make sure whatever you shove up your ass has a flange on it so it doesn't get stuck. So you don't want to be one of those internet videos where people are making fun of you.
Yeah, but those people are putting up
a light bulb in your ass.
Messed
it
up
happens.
Things. Yeah.
People put light bulbs up their ass. Mason jar, don't look that up. It's not good.
Because if that thing breaks, you're dying. You're bleeding out. They ain't doing anything.
You could, but
it.
anyway, he had food poisoning. Is the point though? When
So he had, all right. So anyways,
he had food poisoning and he was vomiting and he had diarrhea. And I said,
do not go to a nude beach if you have food poisoning. It's coming out of both ends. Just a little tip from me.
That's our tip. That's our tip from
Just a little tip.
Also, the far end of the beach is the lesbian section. I didn't realize that the gays had to be separate.
Oh, wait. They make the lesbians walk all the way.
They actually make the lesbians
further?
walk further. Yeah. Well, they want to give them like equal rights, I guess.
Oh, so wait. Maybe it's like they're putting on a show. You know, along as you're walking down the beach.
I've spent a fair amount of time in P-Town. It seems that there's a lot more gay men than there is gay women in P-Town. Have you ever noticed that?
I would say yes. I have very limited experience.
And there's less trans people in P-Town than there are in any nighttime television show in America right now. Like, there's definitely trans people in P-Town, and definitely drag queens and drag shows. But it's interesting how the proportions of transgender people in the world are, I think, over exaggerated on television, and
on beer cans.
and on beer cans. And, you know, I think that we should all just be ourselves, do what we want to do, and let's not fit into a box, and let's not be sorted into boxes. Although, I think we should all agree that we should sort ourselves into the boxes of people who go to the beach, the nude beach, and have diarrhea and vomiting, and those who don't. Because if you do it with diarrhea and vomiting, it's gross, but I'm sure you'll find somebody who's into that.
I bet there is
good
like
for
some
you.
sort of fetish beach where you go and you're naked.
They
and
didn't
you're
say that.
vomiting
They
and-
just said that the gays are here and the lesbians are down there. They didn't say anything about the trans, and they didn't say anything about the freaky people. But
freaky people.
wherever the freaky people are, that's where we'll be.
We do know there's a dock there that
dock.
Yeah, you might not want to go under if you're.
You might want to
a
go
man
under
like
it.
myself.
Why don't you want to go under there? You might make a friend. Do you want to make a friend?
You know, if I was going to make a friend, I think I would want to make a friend, not under some dark, seedy dock with a bunch of other. All I can think of is like the brother, you know, like an Aesop's fable. Like there's ogres and stuff under the dock, and
I don't.
And that's
well,
what's
there are
happening down
some people that would be described as ogres under the dock for sure. I mean, usually bears, otters.
Wait, ogre is a new like you.
What
so
was
you
the
have
one
bears.
that we made up? What was the one I made up a couple weeks ago when I checked with Nolan? He said it was fine.
It was something like
Sloppy.
No.
Oh, it was a thirst. It was like something about a twink.
It was it was
Sloppy
the next
twink?
one up from a twink. It was
Not an otter.
no, I forget what it was.
I came up with something
It was
that-
the same day that you called your vagina a wet sleeve.
Anyway, I said something horrifying. Shocker. Raise your hand if you're surprised by that shit. Oh, and we never. I'm sorry. We are all over the fucking place.
You're all over the place.
That's true, but
I'm just
kind of
here for
fast.
support.
I just hate to jump from this topic onto something that's like a nice normal
so
topic.
can we wrap up with the nude beach at this point?
I just don't go to the nude beach. If
Or go to the moon.
no, if you have vomiting and diarrhea, maybe not. I'm just saying.
Nobody wants that.
Maybe not.
They have to close the beach down. It's like that scene in Caddyshack. They have to close the beach down, and then they find it's just a O. Henry bar.
I don't know. I'm so tired. Sorry, guys. I just felt like shit all day today.
Well, maybe we won't do a 2-hour podcast tonight.
Well, we're almost done.
Okay.
I want to get back because this is going to sound bonkers to go through all of what we just talked about, but I would like to get back to Lisa and Chris. We never even fucking talked about them, and they were awesome.
I mean, not they only were awesome. They continue to be awesome.
That's
to
true.
this
They
day.
do continue to be awesome. So Lisa was the organizer of the. It's just we have some weird segues in this fucking podcast. Poor Lisa.
So Lisa will say, "Hey, we mentioned you in the podcast last night. Oh yeah, yeah. Just fast forward to the part of the diarrhea on the nude beach, and then it's you.
Right
It's
after
the you
that.
thing.
Well, they were actually in earlier too. So they were super cool people. So she runs this group. She's one of the administrators of the group, but she arranged the event. She did all the work herself, and her husband, Chris, super nice guy, really interesting, had some great stories. I could listen to him talk all day. We're going to try to get together with him, I think, next weekend.
That would be good.
We discussed having a pizza in a parking lot because their house is under construction and we're terrible. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm so
Pizza in a
fucking
parking
tired.
lot.
We might eat pizza in a parking lot. I don't know. They're like, we'd have you over, but our house is under construction. I'm like,
They
we'd
come
have
in.
you over, but our house is a disaster.
It's not that bad.
I just wish I was healthy because I want to clean
Although
the house and do
we could
things,
have,
leave the beds and.
You know what we could do is,
can't.
you know
I
what we'll
can't
do?
do
You know
it.
how
I
like
wish I
people
could.
have cameos? We can have a cameo where you can come and have pizza or some sort of cookout on this very podcast table, and it'd be like a celebrity thing.
Well, interestingly, that you should say this. I fucked up. The kids are coming, and we're picking them up during the podcast. And I don't know what we're going to do with that.
We're gonna have to run a rerun, the best of.
We could record when we got back. We could record in the car, or we could record.
We could record from
early.
the airport. Actually, there's an overflow. Well, there's a cell phone lot where you're supposed to wait
Cell phone lot.
into for your people to get off the plane, and they call you, and then you drive in. So there's not a backlog.
I wonder if we could record from our phone. If that would work, we might have to do a test.
Oh, I bet we could do it. Yeah. Did we do the first one on a phone?
We did. We had audio issues, but the reason we had audio issues is because it was in the holder, and it wasn't on speaker.
Yes.
So, if we put the car on speaker, we should be okay.
Yeah, so maybe we do. Yeah, maybe we do that. But maybe the children take precedence over the podcast. Who knows? I don't know. Or maybe we film one from the pool earlier in the day. So it's not live, but it's live-ish.
I think we take the podcast with us. I think that's my plan, is to take the podcast with us because I think it would be cool to pick the kids up at the airport. And I think the kids are into the podcast. As a matter of fact, Nolan and I talked about him maybe partnering with us on a partnering or working with us
for free.
In parallel. No, actually, we're thinking about, what if we could make something out of it and make it like a little family project? That might be cool.
And that would make me the Don of the family, and that gives me all the power.
If you think that you're the Don of the family,
so when you go to the airport, there's the cell phone line.
Good job. Did you just flinch?
No, I thought you were going to yell at me for talking about the cell phone lot, but the
I
cell
like
phone
lot. You could join a drug cartel.
We call it that you're joining a drug cartel because there's just people there pulling out their chairs, hanging out, having a good time, smoking cigars, whatever. Like, it's not just once; it's been every time we've gone to the airport.
There's like 20 people
and,
every time just hanging out.
But then we figured out what they're doing.
We thought we were joining a drug cartel, but turns out they're Uber drivers.
They're Uber drivers, and they're just waiting for their, for a call. So that's where they kind of hang out and do their thing, and then they drive people away.
They're having a blast too. Good for them.
Yeah, it's a good time.
But we only briefly talked about Lisa and Chris. We said we're gonna get together with them.
Yep.
And they showed us their beautiful grandchildren. And I guess that's.
And we talked.
They have some really interesting stories. I think is the biggest thing. He's a programmer. Then he did landscaping and pool work. And
he actually worked for the Doug Flutie Foundation. We
he's
talked
done
a
some
little
really
bit about
great
that.
stuff. Really, just both of them are really interesting, nice people. And we're really looking forward to getting to know them better. We just like people with good vibes, good energy. And I can honestly say, every single person that we sat with and encountered had fantastic energy.
I had probably the worst energy of all. You know why? Because my wife likes to put castor oil up my butt.
I never actually put castor oil up his butt. Maybe he would be
Yeah,
in a
but you
better mood if
wanna.
I did. I would put castor oil and essential oils in your butt and make you a happier person. One thing we did realize is that I had 2 iced teas, and that was not a good idea because I probably do not need coffee or anything that is a stimulant, although that is what they prescribe for narcolepsy. So that is my entire list of shit. And look at that, 8:56. I'm getting better at this.
Nice.
I did have some other topics today that I kind of jotted down. What did you have any?
I have 2 things, but I can't. Oh, I realized this weekend that there are 2 bands. One band is called Cracker, and the other band is called Uncle Cracker. I always thought I liked Uncle Cracker, and not Cracker, but instead I actually like Cracker. I like several of their songs, whereas Uncle Cracker not so much.
Uncle Cracker sang "Follow Me."
Follow me, everything I know.
That was also on Kids Bop.
Yeah, okay. Well, the kids can have it.
Did anybody have their kids?
Whereas
Kids
Cracker
Bop
has "Get Off This."
Yeah, they sang "Low."
How does that logo? Yeah, because that's
feeling good now, like being stoned.
Oh,
Hey, like feeling low.
See what I mean? One's legit, one's not so legit. One's on Kids Bop or whatever. And then speaking of music, because I'm a musical person, happy birthday to Earth, Wind & Fire's Philip Bailey, which a lot of you may know from that Easy Lover song with the baldy Phil Collins. Around that same time, he had an album, and the title track was called Chinese Wall. It'll give you shivers, it's so good. Chinese Wall, Philip Bailey, that's today's song of the day. Why, did you have a song of the day?
No, I have another problem.
Are you, did you have castor oil in your butt?
I wish I had castor oil in my butt. I'm having chest pains.
Oh. Chest pains, folks. This could be the last one, 32, and we're out.
Woohoo! Party! There will be, you must joke about my death immediately after
And we're gonna
I die.
we're gonna have a funeral in a parking lot because our house is a disaster.
Or how, I don't know what to tell you. We can have pizza in the parking lot.
Hey, never mind. Can I put this in your butt if you die, and then the coroner will be like, "Whoa!"
They'll think you killed me.
With an
Use
alligator
lube.
in your butt.
You never know if they're going to resuscitate me. And that doesn't really have
This
much.
is one thing you don't want in your butt.
This is not a very good
I don't-
flange. If you go in this way with it,
Yeah, but it also has teeth and claws. Granted, they're probably
I feel
not.
like those might stop. That's going to stop you if you go in that way. If you
That's
go in
how.
that
That's
way,
why the people in Taiwan
Oh, you
designed
go
the
this way.
alligator that way.
Give me your butthole.
I don't know what that's gonna do for you though. This like little thingy. That's not.
I mean, it's just going to make me laugh because the paramedics are going to have to pull it out of your ass. That's funny.
Anyway, I wish you could squeeze him and it would make a noise. Therefore, he would become a squeaky toy.
No.
But he's not. So,
That's what they sound like. Ding. Fries are done. So I was supposed to have all these notes over here.
oh, and you don't have any.
I just have the notes of what I said.
Well, we did like a nice weekend recap. That was good. We did. We talked about our new friends. We talked about
Oh, that's pretty much all we talked about. We talked about deviled eggs. That's the one thing I wrote, that we talked about deviled eggs, because I hadn't written that down.
And when you talk about deviled eggs, deviled eggs, you have to use deviled eggs MFer. So
MFer? It's deviled eggs, motherfucker!
Yeah.
Am I here to do all the swearing? Is that my job?
Yes, because
You may have to get a job one day.
I have a brand. Okay, my brand.
Yeah, my brand is
is
saying
up
exactly
here.
what the fuck I want to say.
Where up here, Stacy's brand. See, she's an everyman. I'm not an everyman.
I don't think I'm every man. As a matter of fact, okay, so I watched some videos today. So we're always trying to make the podcast better for you guys. And as luck would have it, we love you. And you've all been incredibly supportive, and some have had some feedback that has been very helpful.
And some people
actually, the people
don't
that
watch
we've
podcasts yet still have feedback.
The fucking ridiculous thing is, we're looking for feedback from the people that actually watch the podcast. Anything you guys have to tell us here, tell us privately, whatever. We'd love to hear your thoughts. There's some things that we like have an idea as to what we want to do, but we're pretty pliable. Like, what we want to do is provide everybody with like a place where they feel like they can hang out. They've got some friends, that they're distracted by the world around them, or they're not so lonely, or that makes them laugh, or makes them cry, or makes them cringe. We do a little bit of everything, but it's really hard to identify our target audience. It's like people with like questionable morals. Like, is that you? Or like people who are like
are you laughing at us or with us? That's what we need to know.
Well, we really never know, and it's funny because we can see how many people are. We know when you tell us you watched it. Like, we know that there's 4 viewers right now, and we know who subscribes to our channel, and we subscribes on YouTube and so forth. But we have a lot of people like that we've never met, we've never heard of, like our new friend Uriel, who just came out of the middle of nowhere and he watches the podcast. We've had a bunch of those.
Introduced us to a whole little music genre that he has going. It's fantastic.
Fucking fantastic. Uriel, what's Bork? Eorque. Check him out.
We'll
on
have to
YouTube
get his.
Spotify.
We'll get his little Spotify. We'll put it up
Uriel's,
in our thing. We'll shout him out, as they say.
Uriel Bork. I also think that we should do the Southwest Florida group, and then the clam box. We'll tag some stuff.
Is the clam bake or the clam box? It's the clam bake.
It's a clam bake. Actually, there was a clam box in, I believe it was in
Ipswich.
Dighton. I think that. Oh, there's one in Ipswich too. Interesting note. Growing up, my friend Matt's dad, Gage Buffington, owned a restaurant.
Buffington.
Called Buffington's Restaurant. It's either Arizona or Freetown. Arizona and Freetown, I've never really understood it. They're like one and the same. Anyway, it's like how 128 and 95 North, like it's one of the same. Massachusetts does that. They give things like 2 different names, whereas Florida gives everything the same name. Like, we're on like a street name that is like, every street is like Southwest 45th Place, and then there'll be a terrace and the Northwest Street and road, and it's so fucking confusing.
And they all go forever.
But at home, they're like, okay, so this can either be called a Sonnet or Freetown. You make up your mind. So anyway, they bought a church, renovated it, turned it into a restaurant. It was an amazing breakfast spot for years and years and years. I don't know if they kept it going after Gage passed away. I don't know if Matt still has a BB in his ass. Matt had my cousin shot him with a BB gun when we were kids, and he had a BB in his ass. We never told the adults.
You know what he needs? Castor oil. Thing will pop right out.
I don't think I'm going to look up like the boy I had a crush on when I was 12 years old and be like, hey, can I rub some castor oil on your ass, please?
It's because you don't know how to flirt.
I don't know how to flirt. If I knew how to flirt, I would say, let me put some castor oil up your ass. Is that what you say? And also,
probably a good icebreaker.
Hey, does your family still have that lovely restaurant? I really miss your dad. He was great.
It's always good to remind somebody about their dead parents. It's always good.
You know why your parents died.
So they wouldn't meet you. How's that?
Dude, they talk to me all the time. It's crazy.
Really?
Yeah. I ever tell you about the day I was in the bedroom and there was a snowy owl?
Yes.
That was your dad. He was coming to talk to me. And I went to the psychic, and the woman's like, is there somebody named Lenore? And I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, there's somebody named Lenore that's trying to talk to you. And I'm like, but that's not what I know your mom as.
She's probably trying to yell at you for being a foul-mouthed castor oil person.
Irene?
Hmm?
Her name was Lenore, but she went by Irene.
Yes, it was her middle name.
Never met her.
Yeah, well, now that you've said all my passwords, so okay, I'll just sit here.
Passwords, all your passwords are some variation of your license plate in 1965.
Great, now somebody can look that up. Thank you.
Variations of your license plate in 1965. I don't think that they would ever guess your password, even if they knew every single car you ever drove.
I don't even know my password. Half the
I
time.
know. I have to reset it for you.
As a matter of fact, my new Apple password is your normal password because I kept running out of
You have to be
stuff.
careful with my normal password because I'm on the dark web.
You're on the dark web.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But it's like the password to like my electric bill. If you want to pay my electric bill for me, knock yourself the fuck out. It's $253 on average a month. I would like to unplug the refrigerator and the guitar. The refrigerator and the guitar. The refrigerator in the garage. Neurological issues. This is what it looks like when you have brain lesions.
Well,
even if you're a genius, you
this
can't get
is the
fucking
face
words right.
of brain lesions.
Ugh. Yeah, it's frustrating as fuck. Anyway, our electric bill is high, but you're welcome to pay it. You can pay our water
Nobody's
bill.
welcome to pay our bills.
Yes, they are.
The goddamn breadwinner, right here.
Which
Actually,
we're getting stale leftover bread from the Pepperidge Farm dumpster at this point. We need some fresh dough to make bread. Do you use dough to make bread? Or mix?
you have to make the dough, then make the bread out of the
People
dough.
are going crazy for fucking sourdough bread and making their own and sourdough starters, and I find that to be
I'm telling
overwhelming.
you, salt rising bread is the way to go because you know what? No yeast involved.
No yeast.
And actually not much salt
Do you think
either. It's a
that
misnomer.
bread gives you yeast infections? Actually, it does. It encourages them because it's a simple carbohydrate.
Well, you're not supposed to put it in your cooch.
There are certain things that increase candida in your body because yeast infection isn't just like the doughy stuff that people get in their vaginas. A yeast infection can also be a skin rash. You actually have a little bit on your chest. It's the same fungus as jock itch or athlete's foot. It's
I have a little spot.
candida, and people get it rampant in their bodies. It's very common with people with Lyme. Very common for people who have been on antibiotics. It's why it's important to take a probiotic.
And eat yogurt.
I actually just
Like
read
the
about a
homemade
really
yogurt I
interesting
made in the Instant
probiotic the
Pot.
other day. I took a screenshot of it. Hang on, let me tell you. I read all about this probiotic. I get on these I'm into natural health, so I'm always looking stuff up and learning things because I want everyone else to learn things. What are you doing over there?
I actually thought that I had did a screen grab of something.
Lactobacillus salivarius. I don't know if I've spelled this correctly, but it's LACTOBACILLUS SALIVARIUS.
Why does it say Chernobyl under it?
Because it was this guy out of this is crazy. I gotta write it down. Bacillus salivarius. Chernobyl. Okay. So apparently, if you know anything about Chernobyl, which I learned everything I learned about Chernobyl while I was in Poland, because I went to see the Chernobyl Diaries on a date with the gypsy.
That's fun.
We covered that on one of the podcasts. It was like 3 podcasts ago. Anyway, so apparently in the what do you call it? Like the explosion zone or the what do you call it?
There's a radiation
zone.
circumference.
And there's like animals, like things were all warped, but there's just one family, like they're all completely fucking fine. And come to find out, they had all been taking this very specific probiotic the entire time, and it just made them like have fucking awesome immune systems. And they were taking this shit by the handful. There was one person that lived to be 128 years old.
I call bullcrap.
Maybe, but this guy was a professor. His name, let's see what it says. Return to innocence on TikTok. So he could be wrong. It's a screenshot that I pulled up. I don't know if it's true. You should consult your local healthcare professional. I'm just saying that I watched this fucking thing, and that's what they said. So I suggest Googling it for yourself and making a decision. I don't think that, although rather than use Google, I would suggest using DuckDuckGo.
Yeah,
but again, you should always consult your local healthcare professional because we are not medical professionals. And you should definitely always do what your local health institution says, especially if it's like the CDC or the FDA.
How come
I look like I'm having a fucking stroke over here. What?
I think you're fine. Oh, oldest person on record verified 122 years. That's oldest woman. Let me go to oldest man.
Okay, but I don't like.
That I'm just.
Yeah, but I mean I don't know that okay.
It's on the internet. The internet's fine.
But this guy's a professor. He's on YouTube. I saw it. I'm looking up the herb because it was an interesting story. And if you need a probiotic and there's a probiotic, it's worth a shot.
But you're right, because remember in the, well, you probably don't remember, in the 70s and early 80s.
I could be completely wrong, but the point is that everybody should be taking a probiotic, and according to most healthcare professionals, although I am not one, you should look it up for yourself. and it is a probiotic. Go ahead.
I believe in the late 70s, early 80s, I believe it was Dannon Yogurt did a commercial about the benefits of eating yogurt, and it was a guy in Japan or something. He lived to like some ripe old age or whatever, and they credited it to the yogurt eating. So maybe this
Well, I will tell you,
is
if you had watched this,
the Dannon
if
Corporation.
you'd watched this video, you would know
Trying to-
that actually the acidophilus and probiotics in yogurt is not as readily absorbed. What happens is that it has to be absorbed later in the digestive tract, past the
Oh,
stomach.
very good.
And most things cannot survive the stomach
That's right.
acid. So you get a teeny tiny dose when you do yogurt or
I
whatever.
gotcha.
And it's certainly cumulative, but it's not as effective as this. So supposedly, according to this guy, I'm not a medical professional, that it's Lactobacillus salivarius, if I am pronouncing that correctly. And he is, the page is called, I'm sure you could just Google it, Return to Innocence. And it's just worth looking up. I'm not a doctor. I saw it and I thought it was interesting.
My theory this is my conspiracy theory for all you fans out there, is that the Dannon yogurt people that had the Japanese guy from the 1970s living to over 100 years old, thanking to
I don't
yogurt.
want to live to over 100 years old. I want to die now.
Wait. Dannon caused Chernobyl just to promote their yogurt on TikTok.
That's what you think?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's a theory. I don't think that. I'm just saying this is a theory. And they can say, well, if this guy can live to 128 at Chernobyl by eating yogurt.
Listen, I don't know. I just know that everybody needs a probiotic and it's something.
And I don't know that it was Dannon.
I would look
by the way.
into
Could've
it. I
been
would
anybody.
definitely
Could've been
advise.
Yoplait. I don't know.
I would definitely advise a search engine other than Google. I find DuckDuckGo to be a little bit
Money
more.
making idea of the day.
What's that?
Search engine for conspiracy nuts.
Not Google.
Well, no, because that's controlled
the
by
thing
the
is- the
by
thing
the
that-
Illuminati.
It's interesting because TikTok has changed its terms of services.
What?
TikTok has changed its
Oh, yes, they
service.
have.
So
But what
that
about
should be interesting to see what
Google?
happens.
Google doesn't come with a warning like we're only going to show you stuff that we want to show you, right?
Well, that's the thing is that these tech companies are, they're causing some, there was a guy that was on Rogan. His last name was, fuck.
Jablomi.
That's not helpful. Fuck.
His name was not that either.
No, I had it and then you talked and I lost it. Anyway, this guy was on Rogan and the guy was a psychologist. He was like the founder or like one of the top psychologists at Psychology Today or whatever. And he had testified before Congress about how just a slight change into the Google algorithm could change the voting patterns and that they did it in the past. And this guy was a Clinton donor. And he's like, hey, they did this and it's not okay because it helped Clinton. And he came forward and said that. I think it was Shapiro. Not Ben Shapiro, a different guy. But I forget who it was, to be completely honest with you. But for some reason, Shapiro comes. I can't remember the name. But anyway, he talked
pronounced
about.
Shapiro.
The point is they don't say that to doctors. They get mad at you. Old episode. You guys, really, if you haven't seen the other episodes, you should definitely watch them because there's all kinds of stories. You want to be in on the inside jokes. Or at least.
Or we're just going to retell them every time.
We probably will because I forget. Tonight I was not neurologically great. If anybody ever asks you if I'm a fucking intelligent person, you can say, look at this video. She's stupid.
Look at 32. It's not so good.
32. She can't even form a sentence.
I believe there should be some sort of internet freedom board, like the UN or something.
Well,
right
now they put Kamala Harris in charge of fucking AI. That's great.
I'm not sure what she knows about tech, but
I don't know, but they're supposedly she's going to be.
but
in
it's
charge.
it's probably better than Bill Gates. Who knows? I don't know.
I hate all of them.
I don't know.
Actually, that came up this weekend. One of my friends I met, Lisa, she's a liberal, and she's like, hey, I put some political stuff on my Facebook. You're not gonna like it. And I'm like, no, I can be friends. I suck his dick. You think I can't be friends with you because you have a different opinion than me? Why do you have that look on your face?
It's pure strangers. You've known this person 30 minutes, maybe.
Okay. I know all kinds of things about this woman by 30 minutes in. By 30 minutes in, I know like when she had her last mammogram. Have you had a conversation with me? Have you seen me have conversations with people?
Yeah,
By
you're
30
pregnant.
minutes in, I pretty much know every detail of their lives. That's not the point. The point is, she was like, I'm a liberal. Is that going to be a problem? And I'm like, no, not at all. Him. So I think we can.
It is a problem.
We can all have different opinions,
Lisa.
and I like people who challenge. It's a problem for you.
Yeah, it's a problem.
I like people who challenge me. I've changed my opinions many times. My UPS guy got me one day, changed my opinion on abortion. My stance on the death penalty was changed by a family in Boston.
A guy standing in
Although
line at CVS.
A combination. It's always a combination of several things. But you know, I always want to question my ideas, my plans, and my desires because. You know, sometimes when you're too close to things, you don't see it. You want, you get more information, you get better. If you're not out there fucking looking to be the best you can, I want nothing to do with you.
Here's the thing. On any issue, you can look at it, and then you think about it long enough, and you're like, well, this is this, that. Like, whatever. It's like there's all kinds of stuff that don't make sense. Why is it okay on Tuesdays to let you know? But anyways, there's when you look at issues, you really look at issues, you're not going to be 100% one way or the other. And so that's why I think debate is good. I'm really wary of anybody, and I'm wary of anybody that will be 100% absolutely sure of anything.
Well, here's my thing: doesn't necessarily have to be debate. It should be a discussion that is intelligent.
Well, not a debate. Yeah, that's what I meant. Discussion. Yeah.
Intelligent, respectful, and effective. And if we can't have intelligent, respectful, and effective conversations on the issues, how the fuck can we expect the idiots in Washington to? These people are morons. They're just like manipulative pieces of garbage that will fuck all of us right in the ass with an alligator without using any castor oil. Anyway, you have any other points you want to bring up? Because it's 9:16, so we should do our gratitude and talk to our friends.
Gratitude.
So what do you got?
I am grateful for I was grateful for my leftover chili. I made chili yesterday, and it was good. It was a good batch. So I had a little leftover for lunch today, and it was fantastic.
Can you do another one? You want to rattle off all your gratitudes, or you got it? Sure.
No, I need a little time to.
Okay. I'm grateful for my essential oils, which Doug is diffusing right now, and they keep the bugs away. I also use them when I meditate. I use the same essential oil every time. I actually use Intune. It's from doTERRA. I do not sell it, but I do have a wholesale membership. If you want to save on it, I can show you how I do it to save money. It actually saves us money, believe it or not, by using doTERRA essential oils. But I use Intune every time I meditate because it just basically tells my mind, okay, it's time to meditate. So I'm grateful for my essential oils. I'm grateful for the steak Doug made tonight. Was that grass-fed?
Grass-fed
organic
yeah.
broccoli,
it was on sale.
Potato, good times.
And this week, I didn't put rancid sour cream on her.
Last week you put rancid sour cream on.
I didn't know it was rancid.
One good. I'm also grateful that the yogurt came out so good.
Yogurt came out good. I made yogurt last night. I made chili and yogurt in one day. Thank you.
Yogurt is we make it in our Instant Pot, and
without the button.
They don't understand that without the button, but we make yogurt in our Instant Pot, and I eat that a lot, It's like a great meal.
You're gonna live to 128.
I don't want to live to 128. I don't even want to live through the week. But there you go. You got anything to be thankful for?
Well, I'm thankful that there were a couple jobs today that or actually one wasn't today, one was last week, but a couple.
So we got some jobs.
They were jobs that I had connections sort of to. So so that was good. So I was thankful for coworkers and friends and things like that.
I'm thankful for the fact that I was able to rest a little today. Even though I didn't really sleep, I was able to rest, and I felt like I didn't have a productive day, and I was really beating myself up about that. But I pushed myself really fucking hard and got I did my routine. I did my my meditation and my breath work. We've been doing Wim Hof breath work every morning. What do you think about that?
It's hard. But
today
was easier. Yeah.
It gets easier every time you practice. And Doug does a good Wim Hof impression.
Oh my God,
do it.
the guy he's like Dutch or something. And so he's
fully in, fully out.
Inhale.
I'll do the breathing.
Don't stop.
You be Wim Hof. I'll do it.
What?
I'll do it. You be Wim Hof.
I'm trying to think. Okay, let's give it all we got. Breathe in, breathe out like a wave. Don't stop on the exhale. Back in, feel the lungs in into the belly, and out. Think about what you're doing. Think about what your body can do.
You have to tell me to hold my breath. Tell me to hold my breath.
Now hold your breath for 8 minutes. And if you want to hold it longer than 8 minutes, you must pause this video and come back. He actually sounds a lot like Dark Helmet from Spaceballs. I am your father. I'm your father's former roommate. Okay, you may, if you feel the urge to breathe, you can breathe. Are you just gonna hold your breath until you pass out? That'll be a first time podcast. She passes out. and it's not from puking her brains out.
You're supposed to tell me to breathe in.
Okay, now hold for 15 seconds.
Anyway, it feels really good.
Oh,
It's
by
better
the
than a cup
way,
of coffee. It takes about 11 minutes. You
speaking
go on
of-
YouTube, Wim Hof beginner breathing video or Wim Hof breathing. Go ahead.
I was at Publix today, grabbing a few things, and there were some people speaking Dutch, and guess what they were buying? Haagen-Dazs. Can't make that stuff up.
What does that say? Job progress and then debt? That wouldn't be
Dest,
Nest?
dust, cest, cust, crust,
I don't know. I was
crest.
thankful for something.
Let me see. I can't really see it.
You
in there.
guys, I can't even. We're old. We're blind.
Coot.
I'm half coot. I'm thankful for coot.
Coot.
The fuck am I thankful
coot.
for?
Am I the only one that thinks Dutch people buying Haagen-Dazs is like remotely funny?
All right, I'm thankful for Wim Hof and the Dutch. I like the Dutch.
I'm a big fan
Elisa!
I am a big fan of the Dutch myself.
Our daughter once went to a sleepover at a Dutch family's house, and the mother did not like her child.
And the
We
mother
got a phone
called and
call.
said, "I want all these kids to come to your house for a sleepover."
And she
I'm like,
just
"What?"
disappeared
She
for
goes,
like
"They're
8
too-
hours.
They're too loud.
Just dropped them off at our house for like 8 hours.
And like,
We're like,
and
okay.
it was funny because I think we had like made margaritas or
Well,
something.
they went there at night,
And
and they
good
were
thing we
supposed to have a
weren't, like,
sleepover. And I'm like, well, if you need us to come get us, you need to tell us before 8:30 because we're gonna have a margarita. And sure enough, at 8:30 on the dot, we
Boom.
get a phone call, and we're
And
like
so-
halfway into a margarita, and we
So,
have 7 children.
on the
coming
way
over.
home, I have to stop over at the Shaw's in Cohasset and load
Buy
up
junk
on
food.
junk food
with a gaggle of screaming little
with
girls.
all these like kids that were what at the time, 14 maybe, 12,
I don't know.
13,
I'm just great.
14?
You know what I'm grateful for is that we no longer have to deal with asshole parents
Yeah.
because our kids are grown.
Yeah.
And I miss having a house full of little kids. And I miss the nice people that we met from having kids. Although I'm friends with most of the people my kids grew up with. I am glad that I don't have to deal with asshole parents anymore because there were more than a few of those. Like, and then the thing is, you're not going to like the parents if you meet the kid, or if you like vice versa. If I don't like the kid, I don't like the parents. If I don't like the parents, I don't like. Never has it been that I like the kid and I don't like the parents, or I've liked the kid and not like the parents.
Trying to think if there's
'Cause I
any
don't-
parents I like and I didn't like the kid.
There's never been a kid that I didn't like when I liked the parents. Never.
Trying to think if there's a parent that I liked but he didn't like the kid.
But the other problem we have is like a lot of times in a couple, we like one person and not the other. And that actually, we were lucky this weekend. We
we liked everybody.
We met 4 couples and we liked everybody.
It's funny though, like yeah, just it doesn't happen that often. I think with us, like we like pretty much everybody. I don't. Yeah, and it's funny now because it's like the people that we don't talk to.
I'm grateful that I'm grateful. Do you think that actually it was funny because Doug got this text message the other day from somebody who doesn't watch the podcast. Again, if you don't watch the podcast, you're not here right now and you can't hear us talking shit about you, but we don't give a fuck what your opinion is. If you do watch the podcast, we do care what your opinion is. We think you rock. You're our besties. In any case, it told us that they couldn't get through 3 minutes of the podcast. And Doug says, I wonder if it was because of you talking.
Yeah, it was you talking.
And I'm
It was
like,
all
I don't
you.
know, but like at least you should have the balls to say, hey,
Well,
like
you
your
know
wife
what?
is annoying.
That person is missing out some good educational castor oil information, yogurt information, all kinds of stuff you're missing out.
I don't know, but today we've been thinking about some things that we're going to try to do for our loyal listeners.
Yes.
And we've come up with some pretty cool ideas. We're like small budget, but they're thoughtful ideas, and we're like really cool. We think you guys are going to be excited about them, especially the people that are here all the time. Debbie and Ann and Jeff and Todd and Tracy and
Rockwood,
Uriel, Rockwood. Jesus, who am I forgetting?
Derek, maybe.
Well, our kids watch all the West
kids
and
watch,
Nolan, but
yeah.
you know they've already they're getting flown down to Florida. They're coming in a couple weeks, so we're excited.
They
Ann's
might be
coming
on
down
the
too.
show. We don't know.
I believe they will. If they so
Well, if they
choose.
want. I think we have to sign some child labor law, even though they're no
They're
longer
adults.
children.
They're adults.
There's still some sort of child
I'm
labor
grateful
law.
that the kids are fun to hang out with. That's another thing for me to be grateful with. The kids are fun to hang out with. They're like adults now. You can have like a normal conversation with them. Now, mind you, if they were here, I would probably not say exactly the same things I say in the podcast, but it's not too terribly far off. I am myself now. I used to be like a somewhat well-behaved stepmother with a level of parental responsibility and or setting an example. But now that they're adults, I don't have to do it anymore. We still haven't figured out our target audience. I think it's people with 6 senses of humor with nothing better to do.
Now, 6 senses of humor that well, I think when people tune into this show, it's more like you know, like you look at an aquarium at a dentist's office, you know, it kind of calms you down, but like you're thankful that you're not one of those fish in the tank. I think these people are like saying, "Oh, I'm thankful I'm not in that relationship."
That's possible.
You know what I'm saying?
So, do you have anything else you're thankful for? Because you haven't really been thankful for much, so you ungrateful fucking asshole.
What I'm thankful for jeez.
So
I'm
no?
trying to think. No, I have things I'm thankful for.
Okay, well, I'm thankful for deviled eggs, even though I haven't had them in a very long time. I just fucking love deviled eggs, motherfucker. That's what I'm thankful for. And I'm thankful for all the twittering birds, and I'm thankful for the guy that listens to our podcast and name the birds. I hope he will come on the podcast and just comment in the thread about what the fuck kind of birds we have in our backyard, because we just call them fancy fucking birds, and I don't think that they appreciate it.
He's probably one of the most interesting guys I know, period, because he's a lot like my dad in the way that like he knows a lot of stuff, like knows everything about everything, not everything about everything, but knows a lot, and has a deep dive in it, understands it, comprehends it, that kind of thing. But mainly his ability to know every flora, fauna, etc., etc. Plus, he was a radio DJ when we met him, so he's big time into the musical archives of trivia.
Okay.
Anyway, so I am grateful for Mark. I am grateful for Mark.
Well, of course, we're always grateful for everybody who watches their videos, likes, shares, subscribes, comments. It helps us. It gives us encouragement, which is kind of a problem. We actually have a lot of moments where we want to give up on life and the podcast, and you guys keep us going.
Yeah.
So we're scrolling back to the beginning. It looks like we were actually able to get back to all the comments today.
Yeah. Deb went to bed.
Deb is passed out by the end, but that's okay. We're glad we could lull you off to
right.
sleep. We apologize in advance for any nightmares that you may have. I had that same conversation. I don't know if it was Pam or Tammy the other day, but I was like, if you fall asleep at listening to this, I can't be responsible to what happens to you.
Yeah.
She's going to sleep, and she's been bird sitting.
Oh, that's right. Bird sitting. Sunny or whatever his name is. Birdie.
Tracy said that she's pimping in
she's
while on
piping break. In while waiting, but then she was popping.
No, that's pippin. P-I-P-P-I-N. I think she meant
pippin
to say,
ain't easy.
So you could translate that anyway, but she corrected and said popping. But I think that she meant she's pimping in. And if anybody would be our pimp, it would be Tracy. She'd be a great
absolutely.
pimp.
Yeah.
She has a strong pimp ham, and she's had vaginal spasms. It's not just me.
I've never had one.
Well, there you go.
I must do the right exercises.
Our friend Ann is here. Perhaps you should sing a verse of Lionel Richie's Hello.
Hello.
Is it us you're looking for?
Is Ann blind? Is she going to sculpt a bust of Lionel Richie?
No, but Todd's almost blind.
Todd could make
Todd, can you sculpt a bust?
Can you say? I don't know. Todd's recently lost his sight, right?
He has deteriorating.
Okay,
sight.
so he probably is. He knows that Lionel Richie had a video for Hello, and the blind student made a bust of Lionel Richie's head with the afro
I'm just
and everything.
saying,
and how would she know what he looks like?
It was
a miracle.
He keeps himself very busy
by sculpting Lionel Richie.
And he makes music, and he's involved with his nonprofit, and he's got some coins. And I think that he should take on sculpting, because I would love a sculpting of my bust, because that would be fun. Although I don't think that is it cool if a blind guy comes over and fills me up to make a sculpture?
It's going to need a lot of clay.
Bring your clay with you. Actually, his sister's just down in Florida right now. Maybe she could bring some clay in her suitcase. Yeah, they can be quite painful. And I'm glad you're here, Tracy. I'm glad you're here. You guys should friend each other if you haven't already. You guys are like besties.
Yeah, they know each other.
They didn't know each other before this?
No, they didn't. No, but now they gather around. And
Tracy is going back to play with the animals. Ann Walker loves your t-shirt. You should explain that t-shirt.
This shirt is from Fascination, which used to be on the boardwalk in Hull at Nantasket Beach. Fascination was the thing where you could go. It was basically one of those things you roll the ball, and it's like essentially bingo, but you roll the ball and you win money.
It's like bingo and skee ball had a baby.
Yes. And it was like all the rage back in like the early 1900s. These lanes that they had, these skee ball lanes.
And it's totally just like wood. It's not like there's nothing electronic about it.
Wood, and like it would light a light bulb. And
oh my God, I want one so bad.
They were actually, those lanes were relocated from Coney Island when they shut down in like 1910 or something.
I want them so bad.
And so they were there, and then eventually they tried to revamp it, and that's where I got this shirt. And then eventually they closed it down, and part of that building caught fire. So I don't know what happened to the machines.
It's a video game place now. Hopefully the machines, I would love one of those machines. So they were in business from 1918. And we got that shirt in 2018.
Yeah, it's probably 18,
and I think
19
they probably went under right under.
Yeah.
They went under fast.
But we actually took some guests there and stuff. It was a lot of fun.
We had a great time. And Doug won that T-shirt.
I didn't, we actually they were just giving out the shirts. Nobody won anything. Anyways,
No, you won the T-shirt.
it was just dumb.
You won
fun.
the T-shirt.
I won it.
Yes, you won it. Why do you think I don't have a T-shirt?
You had a T-shirt too, and we had two T-shirts, and I don't know what happened to the other one.
Maybe
I take care of my stuff. Thank you. Anyways, Fascination was great. It was big fun, and it was like one of the holdovers because Nantasket used to have Paragon Park, which is an amusement park right on the water, and so really Fascination was kind of that, and the mini golf was.
So there's a Fascination board game that you can buy, but that's not the same thing.
No, it's not the same.
It's very different.
No, that's different. But there are a couple parlors still open. You'd have to Google it, but there's Fascination parlors. I don't.
Is that lightning?
No, I think it's somebody putting their trash barrels away.
Oh. The sprinklers are going if you guys can.
Yeah. So anyway, that's what the shirt is all about.
This Fascination machine looks more like a skee ball machine. I think that they were mostly like handmade. Well, obviously because they date back to 1918, so they would have been handmade.
Any of those things back in the day, like even some of the bowling alleys, like some of the wooden rails, and they're all routed out and lathed, and it's like they're just any of that mechanical stuff.
I just want to show people what it looks like. So.
Oh, I have video of us playing it.
Oh. So you just all roll the ball.
You just roll a ball, and it goes into one of the many different holes, and it lights up. And if you get a bingo, whatever,
and if you use
win.
castor oil, it goes in smoother.
Oh, you know what they do? I think they have similar machines up at the Arcade Museum in Laconia, New Hampshire. Down in the corner, they had some old mechanical arcade machines. So if you really want to learn about Fascination,
dude, it's cool as shit.
It's so much fun.
Or Google it. It's a lot of fun.
It's so dumb, but like I always yearn for some of that bygone like sort of era like entertainment. Like
that's I'm
almost a
bygone era entertainment. What year were you first on when did Wormtown start?
Wormtown started in 78.
1978. That's
I was not part of it until 79.
I was 3. So Tracy's back playing with the animals. I'm glad you liked his shirt. Yes, Jeff pointed out that it sounds like an airboat we would like when we would ride around our pool. I don't know what he's with us on, but I'm glad he is. Google will start giving you answers that verify the bullshit that they want you to believe. I can neither confirm nor deny that. And you should definitely consult
check your local healthcare
agency. But I agree with you. And as much as DuckDuckGo did recently get purchased, I would recommend it over Google for searches for information that you think may be potentially wrangled.
Did you use it to look up the castor oil in the anus?
No, but I did find castor oil anus. So sometimes it's worth it to try a different search engine. That's my only point. I don't know that there's a better option than DuckDuckGo, but they did recently get purchased, so it's also concerning. It's always concerning that we have difficulty getting the truth. That's the number one problem. And it's even funny. Like,
you can't handle the truth.
Stupid things like I'm watching videos and half of them are faked, and that's like one of the big reasons why we try to be as real. We try to do the show live. We try to do as real. Well, we do the show live. We try to be as real as possible. So you're getting the truth. Like this is the best. The truth as we know it. We're here. We're not lying. Our flamingos are drunk, but we're good. They're less drunk than they were Friday though, because it was Cinco de Mayo. They're hungover today.
Did you order the code red?
What's the code red?
You can't handle the truth.
Oh, okay. Vaginal spasms are painful. Fascination sounds like an airboat. Yeah. Google sucks my balls. Yeah, Dannon yogurts are genetically modified. Many of the things they're loaded with artificial sugars. If you're going to get yourself something, yogurt, get yourself some Fahe or some unsweetened, some sort of organic unsweetened yogurt. We make our own yogurt from, what do you use to make it?
But we're like the Amish over here, churning butter.
But what do we use to make it?
We use half and half.
What kind? Nature's Valley?
Nature's Valley, I believe.
Nature's Valley organic half and half to make it, and we use try to use our own culture as the starter. Yeah. And it tastes like a cross between ice cream and goat cheese. It's not even like yogurt, and there's obviously no sugar in it. We put mangoes in it. We put black cherries and Lily's chocolate chips, which don't have any sugar or artificial sweeteners. They have lead in it. They have stevia. Doug does not like stevia. It makes his mouth numb. And then what else is there? We put pears and honey and pumpkin seeds and mangoes and raspberries.
That's why I bought the granola.
Yeah, I got a lot of that granola.
No, I just ate it like
There's more of that granola on the fucking carpet than I got to eat.
Throwing it in my face.
He was. Harris is in charge of apparently AI now. Who the fuck knows? Yeah. So when you're coaching youth sports, I imagine that the a-hole parents are and asshole parents are a problem. But I imagine it's even worse when there's sports because there's parents that are like living vicariously through their children.
Well, everybody's kid is
or they
special,
think they're the coach,
more
or they,
special
like,
than yours.
They're just inconsistent and awful. Yeah. You have my deepest sympathies and my deepest respect. Thank you for doing that. You have a friend. We have friended one another. I love fascination. Yes, I know the story. I love playing with it. Our friend Ann loved fascination. I think a lot of people in the South Shore got to go. If you did, it was really cool. And if you get a chance to play it anywhere in the world, I highly recommend it. And
Road trip.
It's great to see that people in the group are becoming friends with one another. If I had to bet money, I would assume that you could all be friends with one another.
You know, because I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony.
We can't even teach me to sing in perfect harmony. How the fuck are you going to teach the whole world?
And the people rolling up their windows next to us because
that actually happened.
Singing away.
We're in the car. I started singing. This woman rolled her window up.
Well, the funny thing is, when she starts
really
singing,
bad.
I had the time of my life.
And
so of course I'm like the deep voice, and I start.
That was that? It was.
No, I think it was.
I think it was a different song from that movie. It was a different song from that movie.
What other song from that movie?
There's lots of songs from that movie. It was a whole soundtrack.